Do y'all really want to know why the government doesn't care about anything going on with Black people right now? It's because the collective cognitive dissonance that Black people have about governmental issues, global issues, political issues, is working in their favor. Our inability to be organized and come together, our inability to work past our issues, our inability to have teamwork and cooperation, all of that is working in the favor of those individuals who are in power. And it's just so frustrating because it's like one person can't do everything by themselves, but the actions of a group, of a collective, of one person coming together, creating a group, can make a lot of change. And it's just really sad and frustrating to see how ignorant Black people have become. So can I talk to you guys for a minute? Can I get something off my chest? Because I feel that there's something really important that needs to be said about Black people. Quite frankly, with the situation as it stands, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of Black people. I'm ashamed to be a Black person. I'm disgusted by a lot of people's actions. And it's quite frankly an extremely appalling and discouraging situation. There's so much. There's just so much beauty out here in the world. But Black people fail to see it, because they're so caught up in either themselves or frivolous things that they fail to see the beauty of the world, and they fail to see the beauty of that opportunity that they have, which is called life. We're all aware of it. We all see it. We all know what's going on. But yet we can't find a way to connect. We can't seem to find a way to resolve these issues that we have. And it makes me sad. It makes me ashamed, and it makes me discouraged about the future for my children. There's so much irrationality that I see, and there are so many people who are hurt and can't seem to find the resources to heal themselves of the pains and the traumas that they've been through. And on the other hand, there are many people who are trying to create change, whose voices are being silenced by the screams of idiots within our community. My intention for this video is not to hurt anyone's feelings. It's not to offend anyone. It's not to make anyone feel inferior or low as an individual. But we've got to get real about this. Black people look foolish. We look ignorant. We look stupid, and we look dumb. Any synonym for ignorance or stupidity that you can find in the thesaurus would have a Black person's picture next to it by the way that we are acting. This is not hate speech. This is not propaganda. And this is not projection. This is observation. We, as Black people, lack respect. We lack respect for our community. We lack respect for others outside of our community. We lack respect for those of us within the community. We lack respect for the community as a whole. We lack respect for our parents. We lack respect for our children. We lack respect for education and innovative thinking. And most importantly, we lack respect for ourselves. That is why we're allowed to be treated like dirt, because we act as if that's all we deserve. And it makes me ashamed to have brown skin. It makes me sad for my children. And in some way, by making this video, if any of you guys are even able to see it, I hope that this can bring change, because a change is overdue for all of us. So I'd like to start off by shouting out all of my beautiful Black people who have worked hard in their life to acknowledge the things within themselves and around them that are destructive and make changes. I want to shout out all of my beautiful Black people who have tried to gain some type of self-awareness when it comes to them as individuals and when it comes to having awareness for the issues and situations that we face around us. I encourage you to continue to move forward on your journey of truth, because you are going to be the catalyst for change, and you are going to be someone who in the future is looked up to for the way that you chose to handle yourself and the situations around you. Continue on the path of logic, reason, and emotional maturity, and don't let anybody hold you back. At this particular juncture, the arguments that Black men have against Black women are obsolete. The arguments that Black women have against Black men are also obsolete, because we continue through a cycle, and that's what makes it obsolete. We're doing the same things over and over again, and because of our actions and our choice not to break cycles, anything that we have to say as far as opposition against what's happening to us is our fault, because we're choosing to stay in the cycle. Black men who have a problem with Black women, it's your fault, because whatever it is that you're saying is a result of your actions. Black women who have a problem with Black men, it's your fault, because whatever you're saying is a result of your actions. It's a result of our collective lack of ability to speak truthfully about ourselves, and to our children. So the continuation of our suppression is perpetuated. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Black people who have issue with other Black people are literally all saying the same thing. We all have the same arguments. Men are tired of women because they feel that their standards are too high, or they feel that they're changing. But that's what women are supposed to do. That's what people are supposed to do. They're supposed to change. Nothing remains the same. Black women are mad at Black men for not stepping up and for not being active, positive role models within the community. But yet as Black women, we continue to perpetuate the community with these very same men that we have such an issue with. And then there are Black women who have issues with other Black women because for whatever reason, we can't seem to have unity as women as a whole. Then there are Black men who have issue with other Black men because there's no hands-on work that's being done to change the way Black men treat each other and other people. A lot of you may not agree with what I'm saying. A lot of you may have issue or not be able to understand what I'm saying, but it boils down to a lack of respect. And it starts with ourselves. If we respected each other more and we really loved each other, we would advocate more for change through not just our words, but through what we do, through how we show up in the community, through the conversations that we have. We would be able to elevate. But because we lack respect for ourselves, we elevate people who are the worst role models that you can have in your life as a child, as a teen, or as an adult. Why is it that the most popular people within our communities are people who perpetuate violence and negativity and irresponsible behavior, who perpetuate insecurity and a lack of individuality? It's because that's a reflection of who we are. See, what Black people don't understand is that the energy that you put out as an individual is the energy that you get back. And I don't want to say that this is everyone, because there are a lot of Black people who I've come across in my life who have made positive changes in their life. But do we ever see it? Barely. You know why we never see it? Because we co-sign nonsense. We endorse dysfunction, and sometimes that's all people know. But what I need for Black women and Black men to understand is that you're both wrong. We're all wrong. Both of you need to take accountability. Both of you need to heal your trauma. Both of you need to work on making better choices and decisions. And both of you need to stop blaming the other person. All of us as Black people right now need to be considering the quality of life that our children are going to have, because you have no respect for your children, your grandchildren, or other parts of your lineage that will come to be once you're gone, because the way that you're destroying everything around you is going to leave them with literally nothing. The fact that you can't come together is going to make them even further disconnected from who they are. And because you don't want to work on figuring out who you are and looking at yourself truthfully in the mirror, they're not even going to understand what it means to have self-awareness, self-esteem, respect, or pride for themselves. Your children will be susceptible to programming on a higher scale than ever. And it's already happening because you're not instilling any values within them, because you have lost all sense of values, morals, or ethics within yourself. I wish Black people would listen when people say that they look dumb going back and forth with each other with this whole Black man, Black woman argument. I wish Black people would listen when people would tell them that when they get online, calling each other out and carrying on with all these types of beefs and stupid drama back and forth, that they look dumb. I wish Black people would listen when they buy all of this designer, cheap-ass, expensive bullshit and think that they doing something, that they look dumb. I wish Black people would listen when folks tell them to read, because they hide everything in books because they know we ain't gonna read them bitches. I wish Black women would listen when people tell them to support each other because we don't support each other, so that we can support each other. And to add on to that, I wish Black women would stop being so fucking petty and playing this pointless ass next game. None of us are winning with that, honey. I wish Black men would listen when people tell them that they don't support their communities and their children are the most unprotected within the society that we live in America and all around the world, because they are not masculine providers for the people who need them in their community, so that they can stop looking dumb and we can stop looking dumb as a collective. I wish when people say the actions of the few outweigh the actions of the many, that Black people would actually shut the fuck up and listen. I wish that when all these record executives and all these people who work for the music industry and the entertainment industry told Black people what was really going on, that Black people would actually listen and pay attention and stop investing their time, energy, money, views, and effort into these mindless artists that are programming you to be in the same cycles that you've been in all of these years and centuries, and you just going along with it. I wish they would listen. I wish Black people would see how gullible they look in all of the things that we get involved in. Like, I just wish Black people would wake the fuck up, because it's a whole lot of other things going on right now that a lot of Black people are gonna fall victim to, because they so busy being in this small bubble of Blackness that they don't even have any awareness of anything else going on in life, in the world. So when it all pop off, they ain't gonna be able to get out on time because they still gonna be arguing about who said and did what. I wish. I can see why Black women are mad, but I need for Black women to accept that they're mad and understand that that's okay. It's okay for you to be angry at all the masculine energies within the community who look like you, and the fact that they don't stand up for you. The fact that they've literally led you to the slaughter like a sheep and laughed and boast about it in your face. You have a right to be mad. Quite frankly, I'm angry and I'm disgusted at the way Black men are acting at this time, because even though there's Black men out there and Black women who say that every Black man is not like this, a vast majority of you are. A vast majority of you are cowards. A vast majority of you are insecure. And no matter how much money or fancy clothes, cars, homes, or material items that you have, it doesn't mask your insecurity. And it doesn't change the fact that you have cowardice abandoned your people within your own community. Black men have the right to be mad because Black women, you're out here looking like fools. You sit around in your friend groups around a bunch of fake people, and you never hold each other accountable for the actions that you do in private. Black men should be mad because whenever they come across a woman, they cannot understand how to figure her out, because some of you guys are making it so difficult to be transparent. And I understand that that's a protection mechanism, and I understand that that's something that is a result of what Black men have done, because that's what it is. But selective accountability amongst Black women is why Black men are so frustrated. Everybody has a role to play. Everything that we're doing doing is virtually the same on both sides. It's just looked at through a different lens. What can't you see about that? Why is it so difficult for you to understand human decency and the simple fact that each individual, regardless of race or ethnicity, wants to be treated with respect? Because if you want respect from people around you, what makes you think other people don't want respect from you? If you want support from people around you, what makes you think that other people don't want support from you as well? I'm just ashamed right now to be a Black person because I feel that our problems are the magnification of problems that we have as a human race. And I don't think we're the only ones with these issues, but I believe that because of who we are, we have the most influence over what happens within our society. And we're not taking that responsibility and that influence seriously enough. Now, I know people are tired and we all have things to be tired about, but when are we going to stop complaining and actually make a choice to do something differently? Part of the problem is that, just like I said about this video, which you may not see because of certain reasons, is the same reason why so many Black people don't understand that there's more people out there like you who want something different and who want change. We have to create ways that we can understand each other. We have to create new ways to communicate. We have to look at ourselves, each of us as individuals, and realize how we've contributed to the problems that we face. What's going on in the news about your favorite celebrity, it doesn't matter. None of that matters. Who broke up with who unfollowed who said this to them, and what was their response, and clap back, and da-da-da-da-da, and the list goes on. None of that matters. Your children are disappearing at alarming rates. Your elders have poor living conditions. You're scraping to get by. Even if you have money, you don't know how to use it. And you may disagree with what I say, so be sure to get in the comments and let me know. Because I'm not someone who gets upset with people for having a difference of opinion. But this is the thing. All of these petty, frivolous arguments that we're having boils down to the fact that we don't respect ourselves. And we choose as individuals not to do any self-improvement work to rise above our circumstances. No one owes you anything, Black men, and no one owes you anything, Black women. Personally, in my opinion, I feel like Black women have done more to realize this. Maybe it's because I'm a Black woman. Maybe it's because I observe so many other Black women who want to be positive. But in the same breath, there's a large group of Black women who say they want to be positive and say they're for self-improvement, but they lie to themselves about what their friends are doing, or about what they see from other women, or about taking accountability for their own actions in private. I also feel like there's a lot of Black men who are starting to wake up to this, and they're trying to create a new narrative. There's a lot of Black women who are aware of the fact that Black women oftentimes don't take proper accountability, and they're trying to create a new narrative. But when are you going to decide to be a part of that narrative? When are you going to decide to be real with yourself and break yourself out of the illusion that you've created or that you've allowed yourself to be a part of? When are you going to have respect for yourself and other people around you and stop endorsing and co-signing nonsense? I'm tired of hearing about Krishan Rock and Blueface. I'm tired of hearing about rappers who are talking about nothing. I'm tired of people going mainstream who are idiots, because that's who you co-sign and endorse. Do better, Black people. Do better. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, you guys, and get in the comments and let me know what you have to say about this topic and what I've said throughout this video. Be sure to share it with someone who you feel will gain value, and turn post notifications to all so that you can be caught up every time I post. It is what it is. This is Mom Jeans.